The human feelings and the human experiences allow us to be wounded in order to find the healing, to, experience hurt or pain or loss in order to find love and joy and companionship and to find yourself again, really. Let's get you some guidance for the astrological aspects that are happening today. It is Wednesday, July 30th, and we have two quite long-term aspects that are beginning today. So let's roll the dice and see what our numbered shuffle is going to be. Maybe get a number indicator. Double threes. There you go. You can take a look at that. Double threes. So threes are indicated. We can look for threes with these, like I said, longer term aspects. Threes are about collaboration. They're about creativity. Threes, especially a double three, is a master number. Personally, for me, when I see double threes, to me that's calling in the masters, meaning the higher ups, right? The people and the beings that have lots of divine wisdom and knowledge. These are things like gods and goddesses and master teachers, and just the figures that are enlightened, that show up in our lives in very different ways to support us and help us out. So that could be the case. You may be working with the masters. Woo. That was a bit dicey, chaotic kind of energy, jumpy energy, shuffling that deck with a 6. So again, collaborating with the masters with those threes, perhaps for some of us. It could also be that you're communing with different people, being creative with groups of people, communities of people. So you want to just look out for threes. Definitely an indicator for us. We're getting double threes rolled for, guess what, the 30th, right? This is the 30th, so there's another 3. So threes are important with these aspects, obviously. Yeah, it's sort of like shaky shuffling, or I don't know. The decks are interesting to be shuffled today. The other thing is this is a 6, right? And 6 is our great energy. 6 is our harmony coming into your life, or being able to harmonize things coming together so they can be peaceful, more balanced. Generosity is often connected to a 6 energy. So perhaps these longer term aspects are going to bring some harmony and peace into our lives. So let's start off with the first aspect. Again, it's July 30th. And this is Chiron, retrograde in Aries. So Chiron is the wounded healer, and it will be retrograde in Aries until January 2nd of 2026. So that is a little over 5 months. Again, a longer term aspect. So I am going to read the blurb for you so that you can have an idea of what this energy is all about. And it says, time to tend to our wounds and bruised egos as the wounded healer moves backward for the next several months. This is a period to lay down our emotional weapons and focus on healing from within. So yes, the wounded healer always comes in, especially in a retrograde energy. And of course, retrograding in Aries, it's really bringing us back to the I, the one, the you. And asking yourself what still perhaps needs to be healed within you, and what can you do about it within yourself to access that healing, access that love, lay down your emotional weapons and go within a bit to be truthful and honest. But let's see what we have for the cards and the guidance today. So for the Oracle, card number 31, it's the Universe card. I love this energy. We're all just stardust. Take a look at that. Oh my goodness. So obviously this Chiron retrograde really wants us to connect to the bigger picture, if you will. And the fact that, you're only here for a short time. You're only here for a short time on the physical plane here. It's important to remember that sometimes. And it sounds like this Chiron retrograde for us is bringing in that universal connection, the oneness that goes along with being human. There are multiple sides to you. That's important to remember. Sometimes we can forget that as we're trekking along this physical journey and making way, and learning, of course, our lessons. Being able to heal your wounds is a large part of that, because we're here to evolve our soul and our spirit. And we do that in this kind of a physical vessel by trekking through hardship, difficulty, joy, love, pain, all of the human is like the human feelings and the human experiences allow us to be wounded in order to find the healing, to, experience hurt or pain or loss in order to find love and joy and companionship and to find yourself again, really. So it's a really nice reminder from the Oracle for us today. We are all just stardust. Remember that. You're here for a short time. And if there is anything that you are looking to heal or you feel like you need to heal, this Chiron retrograde is going to bring you back to you to help you understand that you have the power to do that. And that you are in some sort of an evolution, right? That's the whole point of coming here. And it's really important for us to tend to our wounds sometimes and to put down, as I was saying, the emotional weapons in order to be able to come back to yourself, to come back to your divinity. Because you're stardust, really, in the end, aren't you? Ooh, okay, a bit of a deep message, but of course I love it. Let's see what the tarot has to give us. Oh, the Six of Swords. Perfect with our role, perfect transition card. Okay, this Six of Swords in particular, you can see that she is climbing a mountain with all of these swords on her back. Sometimes this card can feel challenging to me, just the way it's depicted. A Six of Swords in general is a card that says it's time to lay down the mental and communicative conflicts and actually transition into a much more peaceful and stabilizing time where your thoughts are more calm and you feel more resilient. The Six of Swords is also a wonderful card of divine support and assistance. When we get a Six of Swords, it's realizing that it's not just you working on this. It's not just you helping you along here. As she's climbing this mountain, let's say that this wounding was deep and it was big and it's been going on for a long time, or it's one of your bigger life lessons to learn. You have support from, the universal realm. You have guides and you have masters, as I was chatting about. You have masters that you can connect to, and a whole bunch of support helping you to transition. So if this is a time for you where you really want to lean into that and to remember that there's a bigger purpose for you being here, there's a bigger reason for you transitioning, there is a bigger reason for perhaps the pain and the hurt that you've experienced or the wounds that you have that still need to be healed, this is a wonderful time to do it. Again, a little over 5 months, January 2nd, 2026. So we have some time to be able to climb this mountain with support or transition from a conflicting and difficult time into something that feels a whole lot more divine, a whole lot more healed, a whole lot more peaceful. I mean, this is a lovely opportunity for those wounds of yours to be tended to appropriately so that you can heal and you can ascend and you can evolve and you can remember your divine self. And you are most definitely supported, especially from the spiritual realm. Supported. Let's see what the charm has to give us. This energy is magnificent to kind of sit in. I'll tell you that right now. Feels very good to sit in right now. I almost don't want to leave it. Oh my goodness. This is the planets here, particularly Saturn there. But to me, and maybe, check your placements. You may have something that's going on in Saturn. Maybe you're in your Saturn return for some of you. But the general message that is coming from this charm here is most certainly that this planetary alignment and this particular aspect, Chiron in particular, going retrograde, this is an important time to pay attention to the astrology. We're getting the stars and the planet charm. So for a lot of us, this time period is going to matter. It's going to make a huge difference. And if we can lean into it, we're going to see amazing results. We're going to see harmony on the other side of this and healing. So time to lay down the weapons. I hope that you will take this message and, use it. Remember, you are Stardust and you have so much support. It's showing up from every angle in this pull. And I think it's an important time for your divine self to feel more whole, perhaps, or for you to understand some of the reasons why you've been trekking through certain experiences or certain difficulties or challenges thus far, and what it is helping you gain or learn. Amazing. Like I said, I could stay in this energy for a while. It feels very good, but we are going to move on to the second aspect to see what else this day has to offer us. So I'm going to set these aside. Wow. Love that energy. Again, it's July 30th. The second aspect is Venus entering Cancer. I mean, this is a lovely combination today. This is a lovely combination of energy. All right, I will read the blurb. This is going to be happening for just about 4 weeks. So Venus enters Cancer and stays there till August 25th. The blurb says, as we dive into the heart of summer, nostalgia for past lovers and friends may wash over us with loving Venus entering Cancer. Over the next few weeks, our relationships will feel comforting and nurturing, though they might become a bit clingy. Nothing will feel casual right now. So our relationships are definitely probably part of the healing we were talking about in the other aspect. But I think this just feels good, right? Venus in Cancer, yes, nurturing, loving, caring for each other. It feels like love is all around. Obviously, there's a bit of a warning in the blurb to notice where you might have like codependency things going on. Maybe you're working on healing those things, or you're feeling a bit clingy, etc., or the cling from someone else. A little bit of a warning, but mostly it just feels wonderful. Let's see what the cards have to give us. The Sundress, card number 41, and do it for you. This is Release. She is, if you'll notice, in a sundress in the snow. Do it for you. Again, for me, this feels very connected to the other aspect happening today that's beginning. I mean, we have two longer term aspects going on that we're talking about today. Do it for you. I feel like this is about really nurturing the relationships that feel good to you. And that is, of course, always going to include the relationship that you have with yourself, right? Like you are a physical being, but you are a divine being. For us to be getting this kind of energy where she's really stepping into her full true self, honoring her full true self. I mean, she's in a sundress in the snow and it's not mattering to her. She wants to feel those snowflakes on her face. And so she's going to go ahead and do that. It feels like an honoring of yourself and your relationship with yourself first and foremost. Of course, as you do that, you may find that you're able to better nurture the other relationships that you have in your life. That just goes without saying, right? If you're taking care of yourself, if you're doing things that feel good for you, then you will be able to be more available for other people and to comfort them, to be, their support system, or to be there for them when they need it. So this is really about honoring you first. I hate to say it that way, but that's what it is. You may find that with the nostalgia energy that they talked about, I mean, I'm going to see what the tarot gives, of course, but if you feel like there's something that needs to be concluded in a relationship over the next just about 4 weeks, or you feel like you want to connect with someone, if it feels like something that you need to do for you, then fine. There may be some beautiful conclusions or resolutions of the heart that are happening. But the main idea is if it's up here, then you may want to think twice about it. It wants to be all right here, heart chakra land. So let's see what we have for the tarot and get some more info. The Ace of Swords. Okay. Ace of Swords energy is clarity and truth. So I suspect that you're not going to be super confused. That's why I'm picking up, if you have confusion around the mind, if you're not sure what you're thinking about something or what to do about it, if it doesn't feel clear, then I would say sit with it for a bit, move back into your heart center and feel about it. The Ace of Swords wants to bring you the idea that you need, right? It is the emblem of truth. It's also wonderful new ideas, and it's a one. So like your ideas, your clarity, what you feel is good, what you think about, that bright idea that you might have. I suspect that, especially because the depiction of this card definitely has like a victory wreath around the sword there pictured, I suspect that there are going to be some beautiful truths that are going to be made very clear to you, that you're going to have a conscious understanding of what it is you truly want, what you desire, what kind of ideas fit with you, what kind of belief systems work. Again, nourishing and loving yourself, nurturing your own self first is what I'm feeling as the prominent message that's coming out first. And it's going to obviously aid your relationships if you're more clear about what it is that you desire, what you think about, what you want. Because an Ace of Swords will help you then take that idea, your idea, and communicate it quite clearly. And so if there are people that you need to talk to or conversations that you need to have over the next, again, just about 4 weeks, about month energy, then doing that from a very clear, truthful, and loving place is most likely going to benefit you greatly. Remember, doing it for you, being clear and truthful, being in alignment with yourself is going to be so important. And I believe these aspects that are starting today are definitely going to help you and all of us do that. So let's see what we have for a charm. Connected. Okay, speaking of conversations, the telephone. We've got the telephone charm. A couple of messages coming right away from this. The first is what I was just saying, right? Which is if you need to have conversations with someone, make sure that you have an understanding first about what it is you're looking to say, that you have your truth in, it's in alignment, that you are clear with yourself first. Then pick up the phone, make that phone call. You probably have a really good chance of having clear and loving conversations right now. The other piece of that message connected to that charm is if you have a calling, right? If spirit is calling you, if there is an ascension, if you are called to heal in some way, if you are called to follow an idea, to trust your truth, you're going to want to answer that call. We do have, again, the double 3. So to me, master teachers. So you may be receiving a divine calling of sorts that is asking you to pay attention to that truth within and to honor that. And if you're hearing that calling, then I just suggest that you listen to it. I suggest you pick up the phone and listen to that kind of call and to do it for yourself. Because when the universe is calling your divine self, that connection is in alignment always. You can hear and connect to the divine because you are divine. So when they're calling you up, when it's time to ascend, and that can look very different for everyone, it's a good idea to answer the call, and it's a good time for it. So I hope that this serves you for today, and thank you so much for watching.